In the words of the Beatles, number 9, welcome to Chief Chat episode number 9. Just back here as your Chief Executive, giving you the update on what's happening with your local government. We are continuing to draft and craft a preliminary budget on which we want the citizens' input before we take this to the council's floor. Now, don't fret if you don't have a chance to weigh in on the budget prior to it making it to the council floor after the first week in July. There will be plenty of opportunity, or will be opportunity, from that point up until such time that it is finalized in early August. But we did have the second of 2 give and take discussions with our Council of Commissioner Finance and Budget Committee on this past Monday, in which we 2 weeks ago submitted a list of potential priorities and initiatives and capital requests. We didn't have any public attendees at either of those meetings, but now is the time, because I think it's our obligation to bring it to the public and to allow our citizens as many possible ways to weigh in on this as they can. We will, the remainder of this week, be taking the input that we've received from the council on its priorities, comparing it with what we threw out in the first place. And next week, this survey that you have been hearing about on at least one previous episode of Chief Chat will be posted on our website for you as a citizen to get on and give us your input on in respect to the priorities that we'll have presented in this survey. And you'll also have an opportunity to tell us anything that we missed. And so please stay tuned and take a look for the survey, which will be posted probably before episode 10 of Chief Chat next Wednesday. And so we'll be looking to get your feedback that way. And in addition, even though we're just not seeing a lot of attendance from our citizens at the public meetings that we're having, we will be having at least 3 public meetings where we will be able to interact with the citizens and give you what we're thinking as far as our priorities are concerned. And when I say our at this point, it will include both priorities that come from my office and my branch of government, the executive, as well as the commissioners, given that the majority of our commissioners have weighed in. And we will continue to revise and retool the budget prior to moving it ahead to the full council in a preliminary format after July 1st, when the next fiscal year starts. So these are all big things, big items that we continue to work on in crafting how we spend our taxpayer money, as well as our enterprise funds, water, sewer, landfill, in the next 12 months between July 1st and June 30th. So stay tuned for that, and we look forward to your input. I will address, we did get one email from a Mr. Winstel relative to the dog park, and tonight was the first meeting of the dog ordinance moving through our Judiciary Committee. There will be upcoming meetings as that moves ahead. I know that there is probably going to be some revisions that are made to where we're currently sitting with what's proposed on that. Again, we did pass an emergency ordinance last week at council that makes it legal in the next 90-day period, in which we hope to pass a formal final resolution that applies to all areas in Butte-Silver. But last week, we passed an emergency ordinance that was to make it legal for folks to be able to use the one dog park in Butte at Skyline Park out on Continental Drive right next to Hillcrest School. Mr. Winstel's concern was that he didn't necessarily think that pet owners and dog owners wanted just penned-in area for folks to be able to bring their dogs, but more of a leashless area in a number of places in Butte. All I can say to our community's dog owners is that we are at the beginning of the process of trying to figure out how we make our community and our parks more dog friendly. And part of that will be the establishment of additional areas owned by Butte-Silver where dog owners can take their pets. And so we thank you, Mr. Winslow, for weighing in here, and we encourage many of our other citizens to weigh in, as did Mr. Winslow, and give us your thoughts on what we're looking at here. Tonight marks, I didn't get a chance to head out there, but tonight was the kickoff of our summer farmers markets down at Stodden Park. I'm told that there was at least a couple hundred people, a number of vendors down there. There will be music for folks to enjoy as part of this weekly Wednesday event. It runs from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock for vendors. Actually, I think 5 o'clock until 8 o'clock for the citizens to come down and take in yet another way to support our local artisans and our local farmers, and to buy some farm fresh vegetables. Sorry about that. Also, I think it's important to note today we had our first payoff, or potential payoff, so to speak, as a result of my trip to China. Members from the University of Mining and Technology in Beijing came today and spent the day at Montana Tech and visiting with the Meiwa Society, looking at some of our environmental restoration sites. These are members, again, from the University of Mining and Technology in Beijing, which is, in a lot of ways, kind of a sister college to Montana Tech in the People's Republic of China. And I'll be seeing them off tomorrow morning as they get on the bus and head down to West Yellowstone. We hope that the trip results in some new Chinese students attending Montana Tech next year, and we certainly will welcome them with open arms as a community. And so exciting to see that we're already getting visits from the folks that we visited over in China back in March. There's also another follow-up visit from one of the other universities we went to visit over there, Sun Yat-sen University, in July. So we're starting to see some dividends get paid back on that trip, and that is certainly exciting. And I guess lastly, I will close. I alluded last week, last night was the meeting of our Superfund Advisory and Redevelopment Trust Fund Authority. I mentioned in my previous chief chat that we are interested in continuing to build the citizens' knowledge and interest in Superfund issues. Something that is of interest, and you might want to get online and look at some of the EPA documents on our Superfund sites here in Butte-Silver. But the end of this month, June 30th, is the deadline for public comments on the ongoing 5-year review process of the Butte, Silver Bow Creek area and National Priority List Superfund sites for the 5-year review of those remedies. I will be hosting a meeting to try and foster some individual community comment on the 5-year review process, as well as answer some questions relative to Butte-Silver Bow's participation and role in certain aspects of the Butte area MPL site. And again, we'll give you more details on that meeting in episode 10 of Chief Chat. But in the meantime, I encourage you to get online and learn what you can about what's going on in your community with the ongoing 5-year review of Superfund cleanup here. So till episode 10, I'm Matt Vincent. Have a good evening.